sometimes we're doing the very best we can, and we might be working on a project, we might be trying to achieve or accomplish a goal, and it almost seems like we're self-sabotaging. We are working against ourselves. There's a conflict within us that's stalling our progress. And what I want to talk to you about today, it came very clear to me. I was working with a client this week, and we were going through one particular process, which I'll explain in this video at the end, on how to identify a inner conflict that is stalling progress. And what this client came to the conclusion was they wanted to achieve a very specific goal, but they were expecting to fail. Wanted to achieve a significant bit of growth in their business, but when that person used this process, she figured out that she was expecting to fail. And this, I think, happens to a lot of people. I know it's happened to me. It was quite astounding that she'd come to this realization, because she's only been a couple of weeks into the Thinking into Results coaching program. And when I did my first run through Thinking into Results, which literally transformed my life, but my first run through that, which is a 6-month program, there is no ways I would have come to that conclusion, because I was way behind this person's understanding of who she is and what she's capable of. So I was well impressed. And I want to show you today how you can try and uncover for yourself anything that's stalling, or the main reason what's stalling you from achieving a certain goal in your life. So what I want to talk about today is what we call shifting to a growth mindset. Now, I'm the creator. My name's Shannon Dolan, creator of the Growth State Experience. And I'm a little bit excited about this process because of what it achieved and what's helped me achieve in my life, from literally being broken in 2005. I was 35 years old in Sydney, Australia, to financial independence. Great relationship with my wife, and we're still married after 30 years, even going through losing everything in Sydney. I have a wonderful relationship with our daughters and with our friends and family, and I'm enjoying life. I'm going beyond personal development now, and I'm addressing issues like persistent health issues and so on. But I've got a plan for that. I've got a guide and a mentor that I've engaged with to do that work. And that's just a process. I understand it's just a process of moving the blockages and the energy that's not flowing through me so that I can live a healthier and happier life. But what I want to talk to you today about is basically there's 2 states of being. We can only be in one state of being at any one time. And what does that mean? Well, it's how you feel at that moment in time. Either you feel good or you don't feel good. All right. Why does that matter? Well, emotion drives behavior. Behavior causes us to act in a certain way, and it's our action and reaction that gives us our results. So then it makes sense as an entrepreneur to learn how to better manage your emotional state. And we can do that. What is a growth state? Well, it's when you feel calm, you're relaxed. You are in a resourceful state of being. And you're able to respond to circumstances and situations. You feel connected to the higher side of your personality. You feel resourceful, and ideas keep flowing into your mind. Then you have a primal state of being where you don't feel good. And this is when you're disconnected from your resourceful side. You're disconnected from your higher side of your personality, and you're literally reacting to the situations and circumstances you're reacting to life. And what you're reacting on is memories of experiences that you had in the past that you assigned meaning to those experiences. When we are in our growth state of being, we can feel joy, we can feel passion, enthusiasm, we feel good, we expect good to happen in our lives. We can believe in in attaining the goals that we set for ourselves. Whereas when we're in a primal state of being, we're pessimistic, we are often bored, or we may be overwhelmed, we may be frustrated with life. We move into blame and complain, and you doubt and you worry, and you can feel fear and anger. That's a disconnected primal state of being. That's when you're in the sort of the caveman behavior, where you're in fight flight mode, or you freeze when the saber-toothed tiger jumps out from behind the tree. So in modern day life, less and less do we need to move into a primal state of being. We can teach ourselves to be in a calm and collected growth state of being more often. And it's not about being right or wrong. It's neither. It's just what it is right now. It's just where you are in your journey as an entrepreneur, and you have the power within you this infinite intelligence that's superior to any circumstance or situation you might be experiencing. It's within you, and it's learning to access that power. And you have the freedom to do that. And the beauty is habit. You can create the habit of thought, the habit of emotion, the habit of imagination to activate this intelligence from within you, and create whatever it is that you want for your life. That's the beautiful thing about the human being, is that we are designed to create out of nothing. From nothing, we can create something. That's the beauty of the human being. If it's on your heart, and you're engaged with it in your mind, you're committed to it, you've made a decision, this is what I want to go after, and you persist, and you take action, persistent action, then it's all going to work out. And that's the one thing that we can guarantee ourselves as entrepreneurs, that we can create what it is that we genuinely want and we set our mind to. So if that means that you want to earn more, or you want to have more free time to enjoy life, you might have a business and it just seems to be overwhelming, sucking all the time and energy out of you, and you don't have time to enjoy the people that you love and spend time with them. You can change that by changing your mind. Change comes through a changed mind. And the mind is an incredibly powerful tool when we understand that there's two main parts to the mind. You have your conscious mind, which I'm thinking and talking to you right now. And then we have the habits of imagination, the habits of behavior, or the habits that we hold in our subconscious mind, which are just fixed ideas that we keep thinking about on repeat, and they happen automatically. We can learn to change those. We can learn to shift them, and we can learn to rewire our brain, our nervous system, to default to a growth state of being, to default to feeling good, and to look for the good in life. We've got tools for that. There's other videos on this channel that talk about the various tools of helping you get into or move yourself into a growth state of being, where you feel good, where you're connected, where you're resourceful. And with this video, what I want to bring to your attention is that if you notice yourself not feeling good, then you know that you've moved into a primal state of being, and that you're not in a resourceful state of being. So then you can learn to shift that and move into a growth state of being. And it's not, if you are, let's say, for instance, someone's done something to you and you're angry, it's really difficult to go from anger to passion, love, and enthusiasm for life. It's very difficult to do that. And in fact, some teachers say that you literally have to take a nap. You have to fall asleep to stop that momentum. And when you wake up, just don't remind yourself what happened before, because it'll just activate your sympathetic nervous system and you'll go into fight flight again. So learning to calm down and relax and move into a creative, resourceful state is a process. And it just takes a matter of time. And I'll give you a method at the end of this to help you identify the blockage that's causing you to move into a primal state when you're trying to move forward with a project, with a goal, with a situation in your work or in your business. And so when you are becoming aware of your performance, your personal performance as an entrepreneur, you can ask yourself this question: where did I start today? Did I start today feeling good? Did I have practices first thing in the morning to help me set my day up, so that I move into the day in a growth state of mind? The worst thing you could do is first thing in the morning is allow yourself to get into an argument with your partner. The worst thing you could do first thing in the morning is allow yourself to go and look at your social media feeds or look at emails, etc. for work. The best thing you could do in first thing in the morning is to just have some time to yourself to connect with the higher side of yourself, with your growth state. And you can do that with practices like journaling. You can do that practices like writing out 10 things that you're grateful for in your life right now, for sending forgiveness to people that may have harmed you, hurt you, or are hurting you at the moment. Just send them well-being, send them love, because the resentment you might be holding within, that's binding you up and it's disconnecting you from a growth state of being. So this is how simple it is. It's not rocket science, but there are processes that you can use to help you move yourself and make it a habit of moving into the day in a growth state of being. And it maps with, like I mentioned earlier, it maps with your nervous system. When you're in a growth state of being, then you're connected to your parasympathetic nervous system. Alternatively, when your sympathetic nervous system is activated, you move into fight, flight, and freeze mode. This is a reactive state, and this is a primal state of being. And it's non-creative. You're just acting on old information, which when you reevaluate that information, often much of it's not the truth. So you're operating on bad information when you're in reactive. And when you're in reactive mode, what you're going to create is more of the same coming in the future. So this is why it's important to do the mind work so that you can create a different scenario down the track with your life, with your business, with your relationships, with your health. It all works the same way. So, when you learn to experience a changed mind, then your thinking changes. And as your thinking changes and you make that into a habit, then you start to get different results. And it is just, it removes you from simply reacting to life and being on automatic. So the simple method of identifying whether you have a habit of thought, a limiting belief that's stalling your progress, a simple practice that you can do. And I do it on the go. Do it as you're living life. You don't have to go and lock yourself in a room and try and work this out. Do it standing where you are. Do it sitting at your desk at work. Do it whenever something activates you and you don't feel good. Write down what it is that you're trying to achieve in the center of the page. What is the one thing, the result that you want? Because what is results? The result that you identify that you want creates focus. Okay, so when you write that down, just notice what comes up, what thoughts come up. So let's say that you wrote down, I intend to double my income. That's generally one that people struggle with. The concept of doubling your income, because we kind of have been taught to live within the boundaries of what we believe is possible. And so if someone said, well, you can increase your income by 10%, we've been taught to believe that that's reasonable. So when I say something ridiculous like double your income, then for some people, it'll activate them and say, well, you can't do that. Well, why can't you? Do you believe that? Or has someone just made you believe that? Is it the truth or is it not the truth? Okay. And so write that down, double my income. And then whatever comes up, then just write that down. Just like, it's almost like you're mind mapping. Draw a line out from that goal in the middle. This is what comes up. Okay. One word, like, I don't believe that can happen. Then what you can do, and this is what we teach people to do, is you identify the can'ts, the non-productive thinking that first comes up, and then just pick one. And what is the absolute opposite of that? And make that a productive habit. So you have non-productive thinking, now you just make a productive thought. Idea now becomes the idea that you latch onto, the idea that you teach yourself that it's possible, because in the laws that govern success, the 7 major laws, there's one law that decrees that everything has an opposite, the law of polarity. So for a home, there's an inside. If there's an inside, there has to be an outside. If there's something that's up, there has to be a down. If there's an equal and opposite, it's an absolute pole opposite to what you may have been thinking. So if you've identified a non-productive thought, habit of thought, then all you need to do is look for the pole opposite of that and just check, just try one, and then write that down and decide that that is your new thought on this subject that you've written down, W income, whatever the idea is. And then just start to write that down in as an idea that you want to permanently impress upon your subconscious mind, and just write it out. I am this. This is the type of person I am. Or you may say, isn't it interesting that I am this right now? And make it a story that you can read to yourself over and over and over again, so that you start to shift your attention from this negative thought, this negative habit of ideas that keep popping up when you try to move forward in life, step beyond the boundaries of your constraint right now. And it is all possible, because if someone else has achieved what you want to achieve in life, then there's nothing stopping you. The only thing that is stopping you right now from achieving what you want to achieve is just lack of understanding. That's all. Bob Proctor, my mentor, always said that the biggest problem in the world is ignorance. And it's not ignorance from a negative point of view, it's just not understanding what is possible or how to achieve a certain thing in life. That's the only problem. It's not more knowledge. People, we've been taught that you've got to have a degree for this and that. I don't have any degrees, but I've accomplished financial goals that I set my mind to over and over. I've done it multiple times, and anyone can do that. If a farm boy, which is where I come from, can achieve financial goals in his life that he set, he wrote down, this is what I want to achieve when he was 15. Actually, I didn't write it down. I just said, I wanted to be this by the time I'm 30, and it happened. Then when he went broke at 35 in Sydney, he started setting goals for his life. And years later, I've accomplished those not because I'm clever, but because I followed this process that I was taught by my mentor, because that's what he did. He did exactly the same. Bob Proctor started as a broke fireman, and then he became a very successful teacher of this material and multi-millionaire. All of that. He even did that before he was teaching this material with a business, another business that he started when he was a fireman. So if Bob can do it, and if you listen to Bob's story, he came from no belief, he had no education, he had no business ideas or experience or training, and he created great success in his life. So if he can do it, I've had a similar story in my life in terms of where I've come from and what I've managed to achieve for me and my family. Anyone can. It's not about education. This is about becoming aware of who you are, the truth of who you are, and what's possible. So in summary, the objective of this video is just to make you aware that you can learn and you can train yourself and rewire your brain, rewire your nervous system to move into a growth state of being on a daily basis and hold that state of being and be in that state of being more often than a primal state. And how do you know that? Well, when you're in a growth state of being, you feel good. When you're in a primal state, you don't feel good. And if you want to look at one of the biggest ways of doing that is I've got a video on this channel. It teaches you about how you can better use the whole powerful practice of gratitude first thing in the morning. A lot of people, in particular men, don't give it the value that it has in our lives, but it is a massive, simple practice that we can use to retrain our brain and rewire ourselves to find the good in life and to be in a growth state of being more often than not. So I love you. I love the whole idea that you have decided to be an entrepreneur. They're the change makers in our society. They are the people that are prepared to step out and move on their conviction for the passion that they have to deliver service, to deliver a product for many others to benefit. So credit to you, and I look forward to talking to you on the next video.